Why is it still so hard for me to explain why I disobeyed you? Can't they see I was deceived? They do the same thing every time they have a free hand, but yet they still find ways to point the finger at me.
Don't you know how to count? The only reason people point their second finger at you is because all flesh knows that its opinion is second to my truth. Many are blind, but some just choose not to see. I knew from the start that you would eat from the tree.
Well, but if you knew I would eat of it, then why didn't you stop me? If you're so good, why would you plant such a bad tree?
I did it because I knew what he would have done to you. Satan was with me in heaven. I know the power he possesses. He would have crushed you and every generation in you. I needed to put my spirit inside of you and not just around you.
So I wasn't disobedient if it was in your plan, right?
No, you didn't just disobey me. You took my spot. You benched me so that you can get the start. You didn't get my point, so you became your own guard. And when your guard had to endure the shooting, you felt too small to think forward. You were never going to realize that only my power could move you forward, so I had to reposition myself as your center because I love you.
Love me? How can you love me when you didn't even clothe me? You left us exposed.
No, I never exposed you because originally you had nothing to hide. No shame, no disobedience, no lies. You were not just naked, you were free. Free from the tragedy of life without me. Free from the chains that you could use to shake yourself. Free, indeed, forever.
And why do you talk to me about the women who search for men and will unlatch their soul for the strings of lust and insecurities to tie, and men who want authority, yet they run from their position as head and as father?
You crave and desire your husband, but when you add water to seeds of disobedience, what type of fruit do you think will be produced? Now women who were made to be lighthouses, let the flesh ransack them, break their walls, and leave them as holy temples. And now they look for any man, any wrecking ball of a man to complete them, not knowing that only I can take their holes and make them whole.
And what about men?
And men who, just like Adam, leave the one they are supposed to love to be attacked. Men who are too busy following their sugar cane instead of he that is able. And men who, just like Adam, just as quickly as Adam shifted the blame, as if he didn't decide to swallow the fruit himself, we still see that piece stuck in every man's neck that shows that they do not take responsibility for the decisions to follow when they should be leading. And men, the same men that are too prideful to admit that their disobedience's head has suffocated the rest of their body, leaving everyone and everything attached to them dead.
Look, I can't change my past, okay? I disobeyed, hid from, and abandoned you, and permanently damaged them. I can never be forgiven. Why do you even continue to pursue me? How can you look at all I've done and still find value in me?
Open your eyes. Your problem is you still think that you are Eve. You still feel like I have not forgiven you. You still let your past destroy your present. You still act like me and you are not one. You are still afraid to share me and to know me. Yet, you look so much at how hard and often you fall that you completely ignore the fact of my rise. I died for you, and then I rose for you so that you could be one with me. You belong to me. You were bought with a price that Noah, Moses, Peter, and Paul put together couldn't pay. A price. A price represents the value of which the item that you are trying to purchase is. Therefore, I attended to your value. I committed to your price. I committed my entire life, death, resurrection, and eternity to ensuring that you can have a relationship with me. I lived to give you an example of how to live a righteous life. I died not only for you to die to sin, but so that you can know how to die to yourself. I rose. By the power of the Spirit, I rose so that you can rise into a new mind, a new heart, a new life, a new freedom, a new eternity. And now I sit on the right hand of the Father, interceding for you until the very day that I come back for you. Again, I say, you are not Eve, so do not treat me like I'm Adam. I will not leave you, forsake you, or misguide you. You are not Eve, you are my church. And I am your Savior, your King, your ruler, your Redeemer. I do not want to make you a better you. I want you to abandon you so that you can show the world that your Redeemer lives. Because I indeed live.
You live.
He lives.